Hello and welcome to the Pork and Knuckles Show, where we take a bite out of the movies. Literally. And if you look at our table, it seems like we've not only taken a bite out of it, but eaten the whole thing. The problem with Harry Potter spoofs is there are none. None that we could find, none that we could watch. Problematic maybe because J.K. Rowling and Warner are so keen on keeping the integrity of their intellectual property that they sue the everlasting you-know-what out of anyone trying to parody this. We found names. We found some names. I found a movie called Harvey Potter and the Ridiculous Premise, but true story, the day we tried to order it off the American shop, the shop went offline.
Completely.
And the DVD is unfindable, actually.
It's unfindable.
You also
found
two.
So one from the British Film Institute, Harry Potter and the Secret Chamberpot of Azerbaijan. Interesting.
Yes.
And then we had Benjamin Sniddlegrass and the Cauldron of Penguins.
Benjamin Sniddlegrass, wasn't that the guy who starred in Doctor Strange?
Oh, God.
No, but the thing is, after we had Daniel the Wizard, we had Daniel Radcliffe as a wizard, so I thought if there is one Daniel the Wizard, there might be another one.
Daniel Wizard.
And this is the one chance in life where I thought I could make Mr. Knuckles watch the everlasting classic called Daniel the Wizard.
Terrible movie.
This is it.
Terrible movie.
I think currently it's ranked number 38 of the worst movies of all time list, the bottom 100 on the IMDb, which gives me the thought there are 37 movies that are worse than this out there. I don't think there are.
Yeah, this movie, the movie's not synchronized. I mean,
oh my god.
At one point, the director was in the movie, interesting, and he tried to change the TV channel using a wand. Like, what are you doing?
This was the only funny joke in the film.
And then there was a random bloke walking in a snowed forest with a trumpet. I'm like, okay, interesting. Like, what? Why is there a tiger in the middle of the so-called him prepping for his musical videos? I don't know. It was in German. There was no. I didn't understand any of the dialogue. I just looked at the visuals and I was just like, "What is the point of this?" I mean, there's a program called "I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here" in England, where C-list celebrities go to Australia and do random stunts for publicity. He was doing the same stunts. I'm just like, right.
He was in that show. The movie contained clips from that show.
Was it from? Oh.
Yes, it was. And the first thing is a bit of a backstory for all you people lucky enough to never have seen this cover before. Daniel the Wizard was directed by Ulli Lommel, who is actually a famous director because he made the movie Boogeyman, long-time banned in Germany, but it's a cult classic, a splatter cult classic. And Daniel the Wizard was Ulli Lommel's first German film since 1978. And he said, and I quote Ulli Lommel right now, he said, and the IMDb, he said that they wanted to make a film that shows young people how to deal with frustration and hate without getting into the eternal cycle of hate and counter-hate. That movie didn't help the anti-Daniel Kugelberg hate, like, at all. Because the funny thing is, when the movie was released, some theaters decided to have this movie in their sneak peeks. So people bought tickets for the cinema without knowing for which film they bought tickets, and when this film started, they rebelled in the cinemas and demanded the movie to be changed, which is something that sounds like an urban myth, but I know it's not, because I know someone who was at that cinema revolting against
Why was this in the cinemas? This should not be in the cinemas. This was...
And
however, I have to say, the acting to act this bad in itself is good, because this was terrible acting. It was a terrible movie, and to pull that off, I think there's some kind of acting skill you must have to pull this kind of stuff off.
Well,
because it was so bad, so bad. It was on a different level.
It was mostly unscripted. Most of the scenes were filmed spontaneously, just like our conversation. I was not scripted, and I'm not going to put this in a movie released theatrically. But you know,
why not?
The two of us saying that this is the worst movie of all time means nothing. You know who else called this the worst movie ever made?
Donald Trump. Yes?
No, Daniel! Daniel Kübelberg called this the worst movie ever made, and he admitted that he was so excited to be starring in this own movie that he became blind to the various weaknesses of this film. Which is amazing, but at least he has some self-reflection, and I gotta say, I have to say that this episode, as bad as this movie is, and seriously, I have seen
this is a bad movie.
Tons of bad movies. My trash collection is here in the shelf, and it's a collection of the worst movies ever made that we will watch from time to time for this channel. But it is so bad.
Yeah, it was.
I call this the worst movie that I ever had to sit through. And I don't know if you have a worst movie of all time. Please let us know in the comments what was the most
painful movie you've ever watched.
Ever had to sit through. For me, it definitely is this, but still, I would like to end this video on a bit of a sad note, because I want to include this information, because this episode of the Pork and Knuckle Show is officially dedicated to Daniel Kübelberg, because he started his career as basically this clown on Germany's Got Talent, on I'm a Star, Get Me Out of Here, and he was this colorful persona. But then, in later life, he became a respected jazz musician, actually, and made some cool stuff until December 9th of 2018, when Daniel decided to end his life by jumping off of a cruise ship, killing himself. His body has never been found or recovered, which is a very, very sad story, because I think there was so much mocking of what Daniel did. He was a very colorful, a very strong persona that people opposed, and it did turn into bullying, into mobbing him online and things like that, which is terrible, because even though you don't agree with things people say or do, that gives no one the right to do something like that. It's been completely unclear why he decided to take his own life, whether this was a part of it or not, but still, it's a very, very sad story, and I hope, even though this film was terrible, I really hope it would have turned out differently, but still, this episode is dedicated to Daniel, and with this, we're going to leave you for today. Say goodbye, and
subscribe, like, and please leave a comment below.
And we'll see you guys again on the next Pork and Knuckle Show.
Take care.